Welcome back everyone, it's time for more holiday adventures far afield from the team here at Cruise1st, and it's great to have you with us. Now, do you fancy some adventures in Asia and Australia? They do say that travel broadens the mind, so let's go for it in the show.
Absolutely, let's do it, sounds good to me. And as with all big adventures, having all your ducks in a row is the most important thing. So all of these offers have low deposits to lock in the prices today. We've made all the flight, hotel and cruise travel arrangements for you. And while you're on the cruise, we've included more at sea, so you'll be enjoying premium drinks, extra nights of specialty restaurant dining, shore excursion credits for every port you go into, and some Wi-Fi to keep you in touch.
It's very simple then, just pick the package you love and we will do the rest. So let's start then by exploring Japan, South Korea and Taiwan next October over 19 nights. We'll fly you first to exciting Tokyo for a 2-night hotel stay to acclimatise yourself with this part of the world. It's amazing, it's like one of these really bustling, exciting cities, but you've also got serene temples as well, which you just can't imagine, can you? All coexisting in the same place. Amazing. Couple of nights there before joining Norwegian Spirit for 15 nights. Oh, lovely. You can just really relax. Now, as we're seeing there, she's undergone a massive transformation, hasn't she, just a few years ago?
She has.
Really bringing her up to date and up to spec.
I love the Norwegian ships because there's something about them that again, just feels a little cut above. It really does. Everything's so smart and sophisticated. And you see the way the staterooms are laid out there, and the kind of pay attention to the colour palettes as well, and just the feeling, and because it's all about feelings these days, isn't it? Feelings and vibes. And I feel like there's going to be a very, very good vibe on this ship. Plenty of space for everyone, plenty of things for everyone to do. And that also always makes a good cruise. And when you're cruising to somewhere like Japan, actually, the reason that you're cruising in that part of the world is about seeing lots and lots and lots of different places. So actually, I feel like you really do need a nice relaxing haven to come back to in terms of your ship.
Yes, of course, and you are doing things all day, so whether you want to then maybe just do speciality dining a couple of nights and then actually you just want to get an early night, because it is really about the activities, the places you're going to, the excursions here, you can do that. You've really got the variety of dining while you're on board as well. It's very, very lovely indeed. And of course, like you were saying, you might have a really, really busy day. You might just want to come back and enjoy the spa. Well, the spa is absolutely amazing on board. You can really treat yourself. It's a holiday. Have a fantastic time. We're just having a look at like all the changes that have happened on board. The staterooms are looking beautiful. There's brand new restaurants on board, 6 new restaurants on board, which is lovely. All completely redesigned, feeling very, very modern, very special, very, very exclusive. And all the different spaces on board are amazing, because obviously you might one day want to go have some activities, have some entertainment, then you might want to go somewhere a little bit quiet and just relax. And that's what's lovely, all these different areas, so that there's something for everyone on board, and all that wonderful outside top deck space too, to just see the beautiful ocean and all those incredible views that you're going to encounter. Cruising first to Mount Fuji. Wow, the tallest mountain in Japan. Now, it's the country's sacred symbol, so you've got amazing temples and shrines located on and around the volcano that are all worth visiting if you don't find that you want to climb the mountain itself. We're cruising on next to Kyoto. Here you've got the Golden Pavilion. It's an iconic Zen Buddhist temple, and it's covered in gold leaf, and it's surrounded by beautiful gardens and a lovely reflective pond. You can have a moment to reflect. Next we're going to Tokushima. Now, a must visit is the Naruto whirlpools. They're on the Naruto Strait, and they're a natural phenomenon called by tidal currents. You can take a boat there so you can see them up close as well, or there's the Mishi, which is a glass floored walkway to it as well. Matsuyama is next. The castle here is one of Japan's most beautiful and best preserved castles. It was built in 1603. We're cruising next to Beppu. Now, it's renowned as Japan's most famous hot spring destination. Lots of rich geothermal activity going on there. You've got a landscape of steaming vents, bubbling mud pools as well, and mineral rich waters. Sounds fabulous, right up my street. It's Nagasaki next. Now, if you want some of the best views, head to the top of Mount Inasa. You can take the Inasa ropeway. It's a cable car right up to the top of the mountain, and wow, what a scenic ride. Then you get to the top, absolutely stunning. It's Jeju next in South Korea. Now this is a volcanic island. It's known for absolutely stunning landscapes, and you've got some really unique cultural sites there. It's often referred to as the Hawaii of South Korea. It's got beaches, volcanic formations, hiking trails as well. On to Seoul next. Now there's an iconic palace here. It was built in the 14th century and it's been restored. It shows the Joseon dynasty architecture and culture there as well. You've got royal pavilions, gardens, the National Palace Museum as well, and the daily changing of the guard. A day at sea and you get to Kagoshima. Now again, this is a place known for volcanic activity. You've got fantastic hot springs here and also lots of samurai history, which is great. You can go to the Yorahoi Observatory. You can get up close views of the volcano. A day at sea arriving in Naha. Now here you've got the Shuri Castle, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the former royal palace of the Ryukyu Kingdom. Beautiful architecture there as well, and all about history. It's Miyakojima next. The beach here is one of the most beautiful in Miyako. It's famous for its white sand and clear waters, and I think after this itinerary of seeing all these lovely things, it might be nice just to have a lovely day at the beach, mightn't it? Next we're going to Taipei in Taiwan, where you've got an overnight on board in port, and it's the capital of Taiwan. It's a vibrant, it's a dynamic city. You've got a rich mix of cultural heritage, modernity, you've got natural beauty. There's so much. Bustling markets, historic temples, cutting-edge technology, along with stunning mountain scenery. What's not to love? After that, you'll come off the ship and it's your flight home.
I tell you what as well, I mean, I realise that we fly through the destinations and just give you a very, very brief overview of some of the highlights that are there. But if you go to our website, Cruise1st.tv, pop in NCL376 into the search reference, you will get a good couple of paragraphs of each one of the destinations and the highlights that are there. And of course, don't forget, there'll be many, many shore excursions on offer to you from Norwegian right the way through your cruise. And don't forget, as part of the offering on this package, you're actually going to get shore excursion credits as well for every single port. So lots of them will sound unfamiliar. Some places you might vaguely have heard of in Japan, but there is so much to see and do in each one of them. So this is for the end of October next year. We fly off to Tokyo first, and we've got a 2-night hotel stay there. This is all within the package, and then you join Norwegian Spirit to enjoy your all-inclusive cruise for 15 fabulous nights and a huge array of ports in Japan and South Korea. While you're on board, premium drinks, Wi-Fi, shore excursion credits for every port, and extra nights of specialty dining, all there and included for you to enjoy while you cruise your way through the wonderful islands of Japan and South Korea. You end in Keelung, which is the port for Taipei in Taiwan. You have it overnight there, and then your flight back to the UK. Deposit to date on this, just £199 each. I love the fact, Polly and I were just saying before we started the show, that actually Norwegian have the most imaginative itineraries. Really, really interesting itineraries, not necessarily following those tried and tested routes, but actually going off and show you something slightly different. When it comes to Japan, you want to drink in as much as you possibly can, but you're also getting a little taste of Taiwan and South Korea with this as well. It's amazing, and it's a great price tag. Deposits today of just £199 each, and here's the upgrade prices while you're on board Norwegian Spirit, and you are on board for 15 nights. So when you look at your upgrade prices, they're always great, the upgrade prices for Norwegian, and they are well worth it. They certainly pay back in terms of the style, the space, the additions that come with bigger and better staterooms as well. But you know what? That's a trip of a lifetime, because that's a trip that a lot of people want to do. And actually, going all the way out to Japan, you know, some people, if they're doing it for the first time, would probably, you know, plump for one destination and brave it. What you've got here is a lovely big selection of Japan and the many islands and resorts that it has, and South Korea and Taiwan as well. So it's a real kind of breadth of travel too, plus having that wonderful city stay in Tokyo. And let's face it, that's the first city that comes to mind when you talk about Japan, isn't it really? Tokyo. So you have got your hotel stay there as well. If you want any more information, any questions, just give us a call on 0800 953 4700. Remember, that's a free call, not going to cost you a penny to ask a question, and there is no question too silly, I promise you. Right then, I think we're on a roll, so let's do another, shall we?
Let's stay in the Far East for our second adventure. Now, it's for the 14th of November. It's 3 fabulous weeks away, starting by flying from the UK to Taipei in Taiwan and enjoying first 2 nights in a hotel. Wonderful. Now, Taiwan, what's it famous for? Probably the Taipei 101. That's that iconic skyscraper we just saw. It was once the tallest building in the world. You can go up to the observatory. You've got incredible views of the city and beyond. Obviously, this kind of place you might just want to enjoy and do a bit of people watching, a bit of like, wow, here I am. But if you want to do something a bit more cultural, you could go to the National Palace Museum. It's home to the most impressive collections of Chinese art and artifacts. Most of them have actually been relocated from Beijing as well. Because you're there overnight, you'll see the Shilin Night Market, the largest and most famous night market in Taipei. Very exciting indeed. You'll love it there. Before joining Norwegian Spirit for your 15 nights of all-inclusive cruising. Wonderful. Relax, because I feel like Taipei would be the most like bustling, busy city, and you can get on board and relax.
And I also feel actually it's a place where not everyone you know, or maybe no one that you know, has actually been there.
Yeah, very
I
true.
always think that's quite good. It was, you know, if you feel in your friendship group or your family or whatever, you're the first people to discover somewhere. I think that's always a bit of a bonus, isn't it? Life on board this ship. Oh my word.
You need to pack something white, though. Do you know why? They have their iconic white parties.
Lovely.
And you want to fit in, don't you? Well, you could wear your red dress, your red suit, your dicky bow, if you want to stand out. But how fun is that to go to a white party? Feels like something from the celebrity pages of Hello magazine, doesn't it? That's going to be your life on board.
Well, if you went in the red dress and had a nice selfie in the middle of everyone in white, you would feel like one of those kind of like Rihanna pop stars, wouldn't you? And I'm making my video while I'm here.
Or the bride with all her bridesmaids.
Yes.
It's your choice. I mean, dining on board as well, that's your choice too. Dress up. Go to all the lovely speciality dining restaurants in your favourite glad rags, or take it easy, dress down. There's casual buffet dining as well. Like, there's something for everyone. And I think it's not about something for everyone. For me, I know when I cruise, it's all about what you feel that day. Yeah. Some days it is really nice to get dressed up, and some days you just want early night, don't you?
And it's nice to change your mind whenever you want to as well. Of course. Because sometimes when you book into a restaurant, that's it, you're committed, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. You can change your mind, take it, and you don't know what you might fancy. I think as well, when you've done, we're going to a part of the world that's got an incredible itinerary. I'm pretty sure you might not have been to these places, so you'll have done a lot of excursions. You might be more tired of an evening and just, I just want a cheese toastie. That's fine. You can have a cheese toastie. It's your holiday. But you might want the finest steak. Well, you can have the finest steak and frites as well. Fantastic. You'll have a great time on board. Cruising first to Kaohsiung. Now, here you've got Pier 2 Art Centre. It's a really art-focused district. It's all along the harbour. It was originally a warehouse, and it's been transformed into an arts and cultural hub. You've got galleries, exhibitions, and gorgeous street art as well. A day at sea arriving in Hong Kong. It's such a vibrant and dynamic city. Obviously, you've got that incredible skyline. There's rich history, there's diverse culture, world-class shopping as well. So whether you're into sightseeing or exploring nature, I feel like there is something for everyone there. A day at sea arriving in Ha Long Bay in Vietnam. Here you've got the very famous water puppet show at the Tha Long Water Puppet Theatre. Now, personally, I hadn't heard of these before, but it's quite famous. They came from the rice paddies, and it's all part of their culture. A day at sea arriving in Nha Trang. Now, it's famous for its mud baths and natural hot springs as well, so soak in those lovely mineral-rich mud baths. They're believed to have healing properties as well for the skin and body. Enjoy a massage maybe as well. Next, it's Ho Chi Minh City. Here you've got to cycle on a rickshaw. Sit back, watch the world go by, colonial architecture, vibrant markets, all the senses will come to life. And I mean, if you've never been on a rickshaw, it's the time to try it as well. Next, it's Sihanoukville in Cambodia. Now here you've got beautiful beaches, soft sands, warm waters. I think it's perfect for a day of relaxation because you've done quite a lot, and I think here might be nice just to take it easy and relax on the beaches as well. There's some really nice quiet ones. Next, it's Bangkok, where you've got an overnight on board in port. Here, I mean, you just want to explore the city, don't you? It's amazing. You've read about it. Wow, you're going to be there. You've got the stunning Grand Palace, which was once the official residence of the kings of Thailand. Now, within the complex, you've got the Wat Phra Kew, which is home to the very famous Emerald Buddha. Absolutely beautiful. Koh Samui is next. Now here you've got this idyllic forested island with pristine sandy beaches, but venture inland and you've got majestic cascading waterfalls and plantations where monkeys harvest coconuts. Just beautiful. A day at sea arriving in Singapore, where you come off the cruise ship and we have got you 2 nights in a hotel in the wonderful city of Singapore. Absolutely fabulous. So much going on here. Start your day, I think, at Merlion Park. That's the statue. That's Singapore's iconic half lion, half fish fountain. Classic spot for photos. Then you might want to sort of walk along to the Marina Bay Sands. You've got the Singapore skyline there in the background. And then the Marina Bay Sands, you've got the Sky Park. Amazing. Go up to the observation deck. You've got panoramic views of the city. Then I think try Gardens by the Bay, maybe even the Singapore Flyer while you're there. But if you want something more traditional, head over to Chinatown. You've got bustling markets, amazing food as well. After your 2 nights in Singapore, it's time for your flight home.
And oh my word, you know, I mean, just look, it is like an encyclopedia of travel there in this part of the world, isn't it? I mean, you've done Taipei, which, you know, you might be the first in your friendships group, as I said before, to have done that part of the world. But look at them. You've got more of Taiwan, Hong Kong, Vietnam. You've got Bangkok in Thailand. You end in Singapore. You've got a hotel stay there. I mean, that is massive, massive adventures. I mean, it's almost like you get your stripes, isn't it? Kind of like your travel badge. Taking my head back to the days of the Scouts, where I just got a badge for doing knots. I'd rather have had that badge for travel, you know, for doing all of those destinations in this part of the world. So, if you like the sound of this, it's for November next year. Massive big adventure. You can book it today though with a deposit of just £199 each, which is really good news. And our package is your flight out to Taipei in Taiwan, a 2-night hotel stay there, 15 nights of all-inclusive Norwegian Spirit cruising, exploring Taiwan, Thailand, Vietnam and Cambodia, with premium drinks, extra nights of specialty dining, Wi-Fi included and some shore excursion credits as well. The cruise ends in Singapore, but your holiday doesn't, because you've got another 2 nights in a hotel there and the flight back to the UK. Do you want to have a little guess at what the price tag might be? Let's do the prices right, shall we? What do you think? £6,500 each. Let's have a look. I like to just pluck a number out of the sky sometimes. Nowhere near. Look, there you go. £3,199 per person. And your deposit today to get this locked in and booked, just £199 each. So even if you're thinking, oh, blimey, Derek, I wish you hadn't. I mean, I like the look of the holiday, but I wish you hadn't shown me right now because, you know, I haven't got the budget to commit to it right now. £199 each deposit. We'll get it booked and secured for you right now, and then you've got time to budget for this holiday coming. In saying all of that, don't let me spend all of your money, but here are the upgrades to Ocean View and Balcony, because you may well want to treat yourself just that little bit further as well. And I think actually, you know, if you are holidaying to this part of the world, you want to have the biggest experience you possibly can, don't you? Really. And so you want to do that the best way you possibly can. And I think it's just such a variety of different ports there. It is ridiculous. And listen, if you are ready to book, call us right now. Remember, low deposits, £199 each. Call us free on 0800 953 4700. A reminder that you can call us 7 days a week. We do have long opening hours as well. And of course, you can check out all the offers on the website, Cruise1st.tv. But we must push on, Polly.
We must. And we've got a super 25-night spectacular travel experience as we cruise the tropics of Indonesia and sail right around the south of Australia and Tasmania and have a wonderful stay in Sydney. It all starts on the 29th of November next year, and we'll fly first over to Singapore in Malaysia, relaxing for a 2-night hotel stay here before we cruise in wonderful Singapore. We go here so regularly, and I feel like you could go regularly and see something different every time you go. It's one of those cities that's got so many parts to it. Obviously all the iconic touristy spots, but if you want to go off the beaten track as well, you really can. Immerse yourself.
And listen, if you want more than 2 nights there, we can add more than 2 nights into the package for you. Obviously, to give you a price, we put parameters in place, but you can move those parameters as much as you like. And we are sailing out of Singapore as well on Norwegian Spirit, as we have been right the way through this show. And I think, you know, the itinerary that is coming up for you is just brilliant. I mean, absolutely fantastic. You're cruising Indonesia, you're doing Bali, you're doing so many of the hotspot ports around Australia, including those for the Barrier Reef as well. And then you're finishing with a stay in Sydney. And I think if you're ever going to do Australia, because we know it's an expensive place to go to and it's an expensive place to be. So, you know, you can commit thousands and thousands and thousands in just flying to one place and then flying back. You know, we say this all the time about destinations, you know, like Japan. If you're going to see Japan, see more than just Tokyo. If you're going to see Australia, see more than just Sydney or Adelaide or Perth or whatever. You know, get lots more out of that trip. Because, I mean, I think people are still under the misapprehension, because so few people have been, that Australia is all about bush and spiders. And it's like, no. Honestly, once you open up the door of what happens in Australia, oh my word, every part of the country is different. You're going down to Tasmania on this as well. The fact that you're doing it on this beautiful ship that's just had hundreds of millions of dollars lavished upon it fairly recently in the last few years, and you're all inclusive, means that whatever the package price comes out at, you're like, that's value for money. Because I could spend that 10 times over, keep coming back to the different places that this one trip is going to take you to.
And it's such a vast place. It's massive,
huge.
Australia and all the other places that you're going to. So to kind of encompass it all within one trip is amazing. If you were trying to plan it yourself, not only, like you say, would it cost you thousands of thousands, where would you start? How would you put this itinerary together? It's done for you on your wonderful floating hotel, as you like to call it.
And that's
your hotel takes you there.
Yeah, that's the way to enjoy it. So let's do it. We're on for 19 nights. This is some trip, by the way, out of Singapore.
Arriving in Surabaya in Indonesia. Now, here you've got a museum dedicated to the country's most famous cigarette brand. It's very, very famous, and it's in a beautifully preserved Dutch colonial building as well. You can learn about the history of the company and see hand-rolled cigarettes as well. On to Bali next. Now, it's known as the Island of the Gods because it's so beautiful. It's both bustling and serene. You've got wonderful Hindu temples dotting the landscape, beautiful scents as well, wafting through the air. A few days at sea and you'll arrive in Australia, in Fremantle, which is also the port for Perth. Here you've got amazing shipwreck galleries, museums here with sort of artifacts from shipwrecks off the coast of Western Australia. Really gives you an insight into the region's seafaring history. Busselton is next. The Busselton Jetty is the longest wooden jetty in the southern hemisphere. It's 1.8 kilometres. Wow, right out into the bay. Perfect for a gorgeous leisurely walk and of course breathtaking views of the ocean as well. Albany will be your next port. Here you've got Torderup National Park, which is just beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. You've got dramatic coastal cliffs, gorgeous rock formations. The Gap is a beautiful viewing platform. Beautiful views of the Southern Ocean. A couple of days at sea, arriving in Adelaide. Here you've got the Botanic Gardens with just stunning landscapes. You've got the Palm House there as well with the Rose Garden and various themed gardens which are beautiful. And
the Barossa Wine Valley on your doorstep.
Of course, well worth a visit.
A nice hearty red.
It's Kangaroo Island next. Now here you've got the Remarkable Rocks. It's iconic because it's actually a natural attraction featuring unique granite formations just sculptured by the elements. I mean, amazing. A day at sea, arriving in Melbourne in Australia. Here, Flinders Street Station is worth a visit. It's quite iconic. It's known for its distinctive yellow outside, and it's got a grand clock, and it's a great starting point really for exploring the city.
And can you go to Ramsay Street maybe?
If you really want. A day at sea, and it's Burnie in Tasmania. Here you've got the Fernglade Reserve National Nature Trails. It's very, very scenic. Beautiful walking tracks, diverse flora, fauna, and of course those lovely waterfalls there. Eden is next. It's one of the best places in Australia for whale watching, and there you've also got the Eden Killer Whale Museum. It's fascinating. It's all about the town's unique history of killer whales and their interactions with them.
Does it have a garden? I want to know.
You cruise then next to Sydney, where you come off the cruise ship, but it's fantastic. So you've got a couple of nights in a hotel here, and I mean, again, Sydney's another place. You've got all these iconic things, the Harbour Bridge, the Opera House, Bondi Beach, Manly Beach, the zoos there, the theme parks. But again, you can go off the beaten track. It's the sort of place where you can just wander around the streets and just enjoy yourself, people watching.
It's a place you don't necessarily want to come back from, I think. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the food, all the seafood, yum. A barbecue, you've got to have an Australian barbecue, don't you?
Do you know you're back just before Christmas on this one, aren't you? Or pretty much at Christmas time, aren't you? You might want to eke that stay out in Sydney a little bit more, maybe, and have it encompass Christmas. Or maybe have Christmas somewhere else on the way back. Where could we fly to on the way back from Sydney?
That's an idea.
Go anywhere you like, really, can't we? Go to Dubai. We could go to Dubai and then start an Indian Golden Triangle tour over from Delhi from there. That would be lovely. I mean, there's loads of places you could go, and it's Christmas time. I'm just thinking that by the time you finish this holiday, you're knocking on the doorstep of Christmas. Is coming home going to be a slight anticlimax? That's all I'm thinking. Anyway, time to get this Australia getaway booked in today with a deposit of just £199 each. You can talk about what happens at the end if you want to with our team. If you've got, now I've put Christmas plans into your head, you can talk to our team about bolting on at the end. Our package, though, is the flight out to Singapore, 2 nights in a hotel there, and then your Norwegian Spirit cruise over 19 nights with premium drinks, with Wi-Fi, with extra nights of speciality dining and shore excursion credits for every port you go into, sailing Indonesia first from Singapore and then around Australia. You kind of come into Australia in the middle and go right the way around the bottom, past and through and into Tasmania, and then finish off in Sydney, where you've got a 2-night hotel stay there before then flying back to the UK. And I just realised I did it the wrong way around, because you come in on that side and then go around to that side, because Sydney's over there. Anyway, your deposit is just £199 each today, and your whole package I thought would be quite a lot more than the packages that we've talked so far. I was expecting, I'll be honest with you, I was expecting £5,500 to be, just considering there's so many different elements to this as well. You've got the stay in Singapore in one end, you've got the stay in Sydney in the other, you've got all of those destinations in between. I thought it would be more, but that's brilliant. And that's me 15 years later talking about cruise itineraries. I thought this would be much more, considering this is all inclusive too. Here's the upgrades if you want to go ocean view or balcony for this offer. I would snap it up as soon as you possibly can, because that's a really nice comprehensive cruise in Australia as well. Doing Western Australia, South Australia and Tasmania, and then going up to the Queensland coast as well is just superb. It's lovely. Absolutely jump on that as quickly as you possibly can, I would say. Remember, again, deposits, just £199 each. Well, we were talking earlier, I think it was off camera, I can't remember now. We have so many conversations. But we were saying, well, the only other way of seeing all of these different places in Australia in one trip is having a backpack on, and it probably taking a few months. Do you fancy that, Polly?
No.
No.
Backpacking is not for me.
No.
But yes, cruising on a luxury cruise ship would be just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
And I've just thought as well, Christmas time you said,
Yeah.
which means that's our winter, which means it's summer in Australia as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So that's the perfect time, isn't it, to visit
Yes.
Australia in the summer.
That's the bonus of Australia being upside down compared to us. Yes, because their seasons are upside down as well, aren't they?
You're blowing my mind.
In Sydney, it's already tomorrow. That's bizarre, isn't it? Because they're so far ahead. Anyway, listen, that's us done for now. But we've got lots more ideas. I think both of our heads are in Australia somewhere, aren't they now?
In the sunshine,
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
the beach. Oh, yeah.
Because we so
Or
need
in
it.
a winery, maybe?
Yeah, very, very nice. One at a time, remember,
Of course.
responsibly. And this is a no smoking show too. Anyway, listen, that's it for us for this show. We'll see you back here soon.
Bye-bye.